One thing that can be really important to consider when entering into an innovation project is the average user. This might seem intuitive, but in reality, what tends to happen with innovations within MSF is that they can be designed with a very specific person in mind. That can be great, but it can also mean that technologies will be developed just based on the expertise of one expert. And this could be a referent, or this could be a medical person in the field, or someone else. The thing to really consider here, and this is part of the human-centered design approach, is really thinking about who's going to be using this on the day-to-day basis. Are these people going to be able to use this product in a functional and useful way, even if this one expert is not available to teach it to them? And that could result in a range of changes to any kind of normal product. For example, symbols in one language or one culture might mean a totally different thing in another. For one of the projects that we conducted at the SIU, we discovered that the snowflake symbol, which we would use for freezing in Europe, is actually not recognized at all in Bangladesh. With this in mind, it's really important to test various iterations of your innovation with the people who are going to use it. And that's why considering the average user is so important at the very start of projects, as well as at any point throughout it. You're really not going to have a wide impact unless you start thinking from the perspective of the end user. And how practically can you consider the end user? Well, there's a range of tools available on the Innovation Toolbox, but also often it can be involving designers in the process. We might think of designers as maybe less practically minded than some of the MSF operational approaches, but actually it can be really useful to get that external perspective of, oh, this is intuitive, or maybe this isn't. At the SIU, we tend to try and approach this with workshops earlier on in the project, but then also with consistent user testing throughout the project. We've sent designers to various projects throughout MSF's operations in order to better understand our staff in the field, what works for them and what doesn't.